Chapter 6, Mishnah 11. This Mishnah teaches the law that applies when a Nazir becomes Tameh before he finishes bringing all of his offerings. If a Nazir who completed his term began bringing his offerings, and the blood of one of his offerings was thrown on the altar on his behalf, and he then became Tameh before the blood of the other offerings was thrown on the altar, Rabbi Eliezer says he forfeits all of the offerings he made that day, even the one whose blood had already been thrown on the altar. And when he becomes tahor again, he must bring a new set of offerings. But the sages say he brings the rest of his offerings after he becomes tahor, but he does not have to repeat the offerings whose blood had already been thrown on the altar before he became tameh. The sages tell a story that supports their view. The sages said to Rabbi Eliezer, an incident happened with a Nazira by the name of Miriam the Tarmodite, who had begun to make her Nazirus offerings in the temple. The blood of one of her offerings had been thrown on the altar on her behalf. When people came and told her that her daughter was ill and in great danger, she immediately left the temple and went to see her daughter, and found that her daughter had already died. She therefore became tameh by entering the house. This happened before the blood of her other offerings were thrown on the altar. The sages of that era said, after she, Miriam the Tarmodite, becomes tahor, she must bring the remaining offerings, but she does not have to repeat the offering whose blood had already been thrown on the altar. This supports the opinion of the later sages who dispute Rabbi Eliezer.